And Stephen Milhausen here from SportingNews.com. He's making his grand return to the boxing ring on March the 6th out in Concord, North Carolina, from the Cabriz Arena and Event Center. The one and only Roy Jones Jr. And Roy, thank you for the time today. And this fight only got announced a couple weeks ago. Why was the announcement so close to the fight?
Well, I was just getting ready. The guy told me we were probably going to do it, so I was just preparing myself, and I was waiting on him to make his announcement. And we had a couple of things we had to iron out, and contractually, I guess he wanted to wait till it was all legally signed before he said anything. But with me, my word is my bond, so I'd already gave snap my word that I was going to do it. So there was no question whether it was going to be a fight or not.
Now, what do you know about Willie Williams?
Nothing. Don't need to know much about him. I just know that he's in trouble. I mean, he's fighting Roy Jones. He got a problem on his hands.
Have you looked at any tape of him, or has your camp looked at any tape of him at all?
My camp did look at tape of him.
Do you ever, just even in past fights, have you looked at tape of your previous opponents, or do you let your camp do the work and then they kind of fill you in?
I let my camp do the work. They fill me in. They give me a game plan. That's what we go with it.
Now, a lot going on just, in the world of boxing, and your name has been linked to a couple things, and we'll start with Manny and Floyd. And what were your initial thoughts, Roy, when that fight was announced?
So glad the fight got made. So glad the fight got made.
Did you get to that point even as yourself, just, not even taking away just the role as the fighter and looking at it as a fan? Did you think the fight would ever happen?
I wasn't sure. I had started to doubt it because it was taking so long.
What do you think was finally the breaking point?
I don't really know, and I don't really care. I'm just glad that it's finally happening. And I think the real breaking point was that people were not going to really support Floyd fighting anybody else but Pacquiao at this stage, because they now are to a point where they just want to see the fight, And it got to a point where it was almost becoming not even funny anymore, because why wouldn't these two guys get in the ring together?
Did you ever look at that even in early on in your career, when you were going through the ranks, in the middleweight division and going through 168 to 175, and then when you beat Ruiz for the heavyweight championship? Did it even come like that for you to where it was hard to get motivated for opponents, like what was going on with Manny and what was going on with Floyd?
Oh, of course. There was a lot of time when it got to where it was very hard to get motivated for a guy, but a guy like Manny or a guy like Floyd would always motivate you. So, yes, it was hard to get motivated for most guys, but not a guy of that stature.
Now, you look at the both of their careers and you look at yours, and do you think their careers surpass yours, or do you think your career is held in a higher standard than theirs at this point?
My career is held at a higher standard than theirs. Monetarily-wise, because of social media, their career will pass it. But as far as the actual facts of what happened and how things happened, I did something that hadn't been accomplished in over 106 years. So my accomplishments are not going to be topped by nobody until somebody can come in and accomplish such a feat the way that I did it. And I don't think that's going to happen no time soon.
Now, if your career was during the beginning of the social media age, when you in the 90s, and when you went through to the Olympics, do you think that your career, your career would be bigger than it already is, or do you think your career plateaued to where it was at and still going?
I'll be a trillionaire.
Because you just look at social media now, and it's like you see things that you never would have thought of in 15, 20, 25 years ago.
I would be a trillionaire.
Do you ever look in the back of your mind, do you ever think you'd still be boxing, looking back when you were in the Olympics and then looking to right now?
Did I ever think what?
Did you think you would still be boxing, when you were young and you were growing up and you went through what happened in the Olympics?
Of course.
Now, why is that?
No, I didn't think I would still be. I didn't think I would be boxing at this age. No, but I know it's a possibility because I know how much I love the sport. I know how crazy I am, and I know how I love when people tell me what I can't do. What that does to me, that gives me that fire to want to do stuff when they tell me I can't. So I knew it was very much a possibility.
Now, looking And the one question, and I've never talked to you, and the one thing I listened to a lot of your interviews, and the one thing I've always wanted just to know on a personal level is, why didn't you stay at heavyweight when you won the heavyweight championship? Because a lot of people, but I watched that fight. Why didn't you stay there? Because I watched that fight, and I'm like, that was perfect.
Because Bob Fitzsimmons, who was the only other guy to win the middleweight, light heavyweight, and heavyweight championship of the world as a professional boxer, he won the heavyweight title. He went back down and he recaptured the light heavyweight title. If I didn't go back and recapture the light heavyweight title, I can't say I did what Bob Fitzsimmons did. So I had to go back and recapture the light heavyweight title, or what I did was not really going to be valid.
Did you ever regret going down there? Because it seemed like a lot of troubles, the little bit of a slide you had after the first Harvard fight. Do you ever regret going back down to light heavyweight, or was it everything happens for a reason?
No, I just regret everything happened for a reason. I just regret getting the second chance because I didn't have to, and I did because of not, really having enough or looking at it carefully enough. But it's just kind of who I was, so it all happened for a reason. God does everything for a reason, and just like He did all that to make me bounce back again right now, which is what I'm about to do, and go prove again that I still can become world champion after no matter what they do to me, or no matter what happens, they still can't stop me. And that's where I'm at right now.
I read an article on ESPN, and it said you want to go for a fifth world title. And I put out on social media that I was going to be talking to you today, and it's the question, the overwhelming question I was getting was, why is Roy Jones Jr. still in the ring? He's done it all. He's won 4 world titles in 4 different weight classes. What's the motivation for Roy Jones Jr. at the age of 46?
Because if you're going to leave a legacy, leave something. If you're going to leave them something to do, leave them something that they can't do. Right now, it's nobody ever that won titles in every weight division, which is 5 weight divisions, from middleweight to heavyweight. I'd be the only man that ever started boxing and started as a junior middleweight, became heavyweight champ, but won a title in every division from middleweight to heavyweight. Nobody else ever would be done that, and I don't think nobody else ever will do it.
So if you win, Marco Huck, is he next? Because I've seen some reports that you guys have talked a couple times and came to an agreement. So is that definitely next?
We come to an agreement that we have come to an agreement to fight. So if he keeps his word, we'll fight at the end of this year.
Would you go to Germany for that fight, or would it have to be here?
Well, I got to go do what I got to do with that. If it has to be Germany, it has to be. I think I might be able to raise enough money to get him out of Germany. I got a group that wants to put the money behind me to help get him out of Germany. So I'm going to talk to that group. Me and Snapper Boxing also talk to some people about it. So it's a lot of ways that we may be able to make enough money to pull him out of Germany so that we be sure that I get a fair decision as well and not fight on his home turf. But at the same time, I still think I can get a decision in Germany if we have to go to Germany.
That's what I was going to ask you next. Because you see a lot of fights, and where you have Americans going to other, to the European countries or even the Asian countries, and they always say they don't. They're very reluctant to go because they're afraid to get a fair shake. Was it your assessment?
Yeah.
Is that a fair assessment to make for every fighter?
It's a fair assessment to make at times. However, with my statute and the way that I think the German people have been wanting me to come fight over there anyway, I think they'll give me fair treatment, and I think that, they have some great fighters now, so they want to see great fights. And they know they want to see great fights in the future. To get great fights, you got to have a great situation for the great fighters to come fight. And I think they treat me right. They know that other people will be more likely to come there and won't be as reluctant. So I look forward to it.
Now, there was a report, Roy, and you can confirm nor deny, or you can even give a no comment, that you're going to be a part of the Mayweather and Pacquiao broadcast. It's going to be a joint show with HBO and Showtime. Is that true?
Yeah, I think so.
Fair enough. And also, you're a big MMA guy, and I've seen you at I seen you at the Anderson Silva fight last month when he beat Nick Diaz. And what'd you make of? Well, first start with Anderson's performance. What did you think of his performance?
I like the fact that he made it back, but I didn't think his performance was that impressive. I really expected a little bit more of him, but I also know that he came back from a year layoff and he did suffer a bad broken leg. So, he did great for when he came back from it and for where he had been.
Now, what you think of all the aftermath that has happened afterwards? He tested positive for steroids 2 times for two different random drug testing. What do you make of that whole situation?
Well, with that, of course, I would have thought something like that would happen because of the broken leg. Don't think he's really a cheater in no way because he never tested positive before. But coming off that broken leg, I'm sure he wanted to try to make sure that he was healed to the best that he could possibly be. And I'm sure he probably did things that he probably normally wouldn't do to try to be sure that that leg was okay. So with that being said, I mean, it's kind of hard to say yay or nay, but I don't think the guy was a cheater because up to that point, he never failed a drug test. And, being that he's coming from a broken leg, I mean, you definitely want to try to be sure that you're repaired or that you're healed to the best of your ability. And I'm sure that's all it was.
Do you think that tarnishes his legacy for everything he's done in the sport? Do you think because of something that happened in the later end of his career and, him saying, he was trying to rehab from an injury, help him from the injury. Do you think they'll tarnish the legacy in any way?
No, I don't, because you got to think about it. For him, he never failed a drug test before.
No, you're exactly right. That's what a lot of people are saying.
Yeah, he never failed a drug test before. So now that he failed after the broken leg, it's kind of common sense. You know what I mean? The only reason he said it because he's trying to make sure the legs right, because he want to perform again for the people. So if he had failed one before, it'd be different. Then you have reason to say, well, he been cheating the whole time, but he never failed one before. So I can't really agree to that.
Now, I wanted to ask you this, because I wanted to parallel this. And what do you think about are there steroids in boxing? You don't hear not really too often about failed drug tests in boxing. Do you think you've ever?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
You don't hear
failed drug tests in boxing all the time.
But you don't hear the bigger names, the guys guys like yourself, Floyd, Manny, Hopkins, De La Hoya, the guys like that, the bigger names of boxing. You've never heard that like you've heard it lately in mixed martial arts. Do you think any of the guys you faced during your career, do you think that they were on performance enhancing drugs?
Of course. Of course I do.
Why didn't you? Because I haven't read any articles where you said that, but have you ever been outwardly spoken about it? Because you really don't hear a lot of guys, unfortunately, speaking out about steroids, regardless if it's in boxing, MMA, hockey, baseball, and basketball. Why do you think?
Well, no, but it's like, why do you win that?
Are you?
What's the question?
More or less, though, why don't guys speak out about it more? The bigger name guys. It seems like if more of the bigger name guys would speak out more about it, then maybe it wouldn't be. It would deter guys from not doing it, and maybe give them a little kick in the ass, because it's unfortunate that you're seeing all this right now.
Yeah, you speak out about it. Like I said, I feel bad for Anderson because you got to almost know that if he's not failed a test to this point, he was just trying to make sure that he's properly prepared and that he was properly healed. So you understand how he could have got caught up in it. However, it's still not right, and you can't do that before you fight, so it's still wrong, and it's punishable. And one time I can understand, because anybody can get caught up in it one time by not knowing. I myself got caught up in it one time with a substance that you could buy over the counter that they had banned, and I didn't know it. So one time, anybody can make a mistake, but you shouldn't make that mistake again. So after one time, okay, but again, no, you shouldn't make that mistake no more. So it's hard to speak out about it for most people because a lot of people do make mistakes highly innocently. And I'm almost sure Anderson made a mistake highly innocently because he come back from an injury. So I'm sure he wasn't trying to do it to make. I mean, why would he have to take steroids against Nick Diaz, who was coming up in the highest he ever fought before, who's moving up in weight, ain't fought in I don't know how long, probably 2 years. So why would he need steroids against Nick Diaz and not even against somebody else? You feel me? It just doesn't make sense. So I can't see that a person like Anderson Silva would really take the steroids for performance reasons to fight Nick Diaz.
That's you're the first person that's really I heard even really come out with that argument. That's an argument I know among us in the MMA media have even said is that why would you need something in your system against a guy who's coming up a weight class and like you said, he hasn't fought in almost 2 years. It didn't make any sense.
No, he don't need that. So quite naturally, if he did fail, you got to know it's got to be something to do with his legs because he done failed one before, and he don't need that. I don't think to fight Nick Diaz.
Now you and Anderson have been linked in different areas in the past and regarding a fight. Now, is this something you still aspire for, or do you think that's gone and dead in the water?
No, it's gone and dead to me. I mean, I don't look at it no more. I mean, my thing is Chris Lyler was 13-1 as a professional fighter. He said if he want to come back and fight me, he'd be the better MMA guy to boxing because he has 13-1 boxing record already. So he only lost once as a boxer. So quite naturally, he'd be the smarter guy to fight anyway. Second of all, Anderson, when he signed a 15-fight deal with UFC, that basically say I don't want to box Roy Jones anymore. I'm giving up on that training. So why would I keep it alive? He's the one that started it, not me. So it's like, if he gave up on the dream, okay, I'm cool with that. I didn't ask to box him no way. He asked to box me. But, I mean, it don't make me no difference. I'm a fighter by trade. That's what I do. Anybody that want it can get it. That's what I do for a living.
Now, I heard today, I saw an interview with Chris Lytle, and I know Chris was talking about it, and I had seen a couple little interviews with him and yourself. And is that fight any closer to being made for this year, or is that something that, with Anderson like that, maybe what won't happen?
It's definitely close to being made this year, and if he still wants to do it, I hope he's someone getting sick because you can't call my name and think I ain't looking for you. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Now, Roy, thank you so much for the time today. And what can the fans expect from Roy Jones in 2015?
Just expect Roy Jones to come back and regain his world title status, become compound number one again, and become the cruiserweight champion of the world. I don't know if it's IBF, WBA, WBC, which one. More likely it might be IBF, but it doesn't matter. I will become cruiserweight champion this year.
When you win the cruiserweight title, will that be it then? Be done, or do you want, or like Bernard Hopkins, you'll just fight until you want to go out on your own terms?
No, I'm gonna go out on my own time. But my thing, I'm not like Bernard Hopkins. I don't just want to fight this cause. I got a few people I'd be looking for if I stay in the game. So if I stay in the game, it's because I'm all about revenge, and I'm looking for certain particular people, particular fights for a particular reason.
Can we get
That's just who I am.
Can we get a trilogy fight with Bernard Hopkins?
Huh?
Do you want a trilogy fight with Bernard? Is that something that would pique your interest after Marco Huck?
No, he doesn't really pique my interest because I beat him in our prime. They gave him a fight when we were older, but at the same time, the way the odds were stacked against me in that fight, I don't think I could have won it had I knocked him out. So I'm not really concerned about him. He's at the bottom of that scale. If they give me a fair situation where we could fight, and I know that we can get a neutral referee or a neutral fight, of course. But if not that, then I'm not wasting my time. He can't beat me. I ain't worried about him. But there are a few other ones that beat me that I do want back. That I thought were legitimate losses that I'm really revenge. So
he will be facing Willie Williams coming up on Friday. He'll be facing Willie Williams on Friday night out in Concord, North Carolina at the Cabarrus Arena and Event Center. Roy, thank you so much for the time today, and the best of luck on Friday night, and we'll talk real soon.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. And that was the one and only Roy Jones Jr. First time I ever talked to Roy, so I thought that was pretty cool. And a couple articles will be up on that with Roy and SportingNews.com coming up.